Rolex. Rolex is one of the most recognized luxury watch brands in the world, known for combining precision engineering with a reputation for reliability. Founded in 1905, the company focused early on creating watches that could survive everyday life, from deep ocean dives to mountain expeditions. Models like the Submariner, Daytona, and Datejust became symbols of achievement and stability. A Rolex rarely changes dramatically in design, which is part of its identity. The shapes remain familiar decade after decade, creating a sense that the watch belongs outside of trends. For many people, a Rolex represents a milestone. It is often the first serious luxury watch someone buys, and it carries a level of recognition that very few brands can match. Patek Philippe. Patek Philippe represents the highest tradition of Swiss watchmaking and is often associated with legacy and generational wealth. The brand was founded in 1839 in Geneva and has spent nearly 2 centuries perfecting mechanical craftsmanship. Many of its watches feature complex mechanisms called complications, which include perpetual calendars, minute repeaters, and astronomical displays. These movements can take months or even years to assemble by hand. Unlike brands focused on visibility, Patek Philippe emphasizes permanence. Owners are often reminded that the watch is meant to be passed down rather than replaced. This philosophy has helped create a reputation not just for luxury, but for continuity, where the watch becomes part of a family's history rather than a temporary possession. Audemars Piguet. Audemars Piguet built its identity on bold design within traditional watchmaking. The company was founded in 1875 in the Vallée de Joux, a region famous for producing some of the world's finest mechanical watches. For most of its history, it operated quietly among collectors, but everything changed in 1972 with the release of the Royal Oak. Designed by Gérald Genta, the watch featured an unusual octagonal bezel, exposed screws, and a steel case priced like gold watches of the time. It challenged the idea of what luxury could look like. The Royal Oak eventually became one of the most influential watch designs ever created, turning Audemars Piguet into a brand associated with modern prestige and distinctive style. Omega. Omega occupies a unique place in luxury watchmaking by balancing technical credibility with broad global recognition. Founded in 1848, the brand built its reputation through precision timekeeping, especially in sports and scientific exploration. Omega watches have been used by Olympic timekeepers for decades and famously accompanied NASA astronauts during the Apollo missions. The Speedmaster became known as the first watch worn on the moon, while the Seamaster gained popularity through its connection to the James Bond films. Because of this history, Omega often appeals to people who appreciate engineering and heritage without necessarily seeking the highest levels of exclusivity. Cartier. Cartier approaches watchmaking from the perspective of design rather than pure mechanics. Originally founded in Paris in 1847 as a jewelry house, the brand later expanded into watches that reflected its artistic heritage. Models like the Tank and the Santos became icons because of their simple geometry and balanced proportions. These watches often use Roman numerals, clean dials, and slim cases that emphasize elegance over complexity. While many luxury brands compete through intricate movements, Cartier focuses on visual identity and cultural influence. As a result, its watches are frequently worn by artists, designers, and public figures who appreciate style as much as craftsmanship. Richard Mille. Richard Mille represents a much more modern interpretation of luxury watchmaking. The brand was founded in 2001, which is relatively recent compared to centuries-old Swiss manufacturers. Instead of relying on classical designs, Richard Mille focuses on futuristic materials and extreme engineering. Many of its watches use lightweight composites, titanium, and carbon structures similar to those found in aerospace and motorsports. The cases often reveal the internal movement through skeletonized designs, making the watch appear more like a mechanical machine than a traditional timepiece. Because production numbers are extremely limited and prices can reach into the millions, Richard Mille has become closely associated with elite athletes, celebrities, and collectors seeking something radically different. Jaeger-LeCoultre. Jaeger-LeCoultre is often referred to as the watchmaker's watchmaker because of its long history of technical innovation. Founded in 1833 in the Vallée de Joux, the company has developed hundreds of different mechanical movements over the years, many of which were supplied to other luxury brands. One of its most famous designs is the Reverso, a watch created in the 1930s for polo players who needed to protect the glass during matches. The case can flip over, revealing a solid metal back that shields the dial. This combination of practical invention and elegant design helped establish Jaeger-LeCoultre as a brand respected deeply within the watch industry. Jacob & Co. Jacob & Co. takes a very different approach to luxury watchmaking by focusing on spectacle and visual drama. Founded by jeweler Jacob Arabo, The brand became known for watches that combined complex mechanics with bold artistic presentation. Many of its creations feature rotating globes, multi-axis tourbillons, and movements designed to resemble miniature astronomical systems. Some watches display the solar system in motion, while others incorporate large gemstones across the case and dial. These designs often resemble sculptures more than traditional watches. Because of this theatrical style, Jacob & Co. has become popular among celebrities, musicians, and collectors who see watches not only as instruments but as statements of creativity and presence.